Raw review. Let me just get right into the show here. So we start off with a Stephanie McMahon, Dean Ambrose promo. You know, more of the same shit with starting the show off with a promo. And I can tell you, totally unnecessary. What they could have done, and what they should have done, was cut the fucking promo, start the show off with Michael Cole saying, yeah, you know, Stephanie McMahon has made a fatal 5-way match for the Intercontinental title. And just have that. Instead of this useless, pointless, 10-minute waste of time. See, this is why Raw doesn't have to be 3 hours, because of promos like this. We don't need that. Just start the fucking match off. Start the show off with the match. So I just thought that first promo was boring, unnecessary, unneeded, and just pointless. So then we get this fatal 5-way match, which was actually a good match for once. You know, actually something good on this show. You know, usually during, you know, fatal 4-way matches or triple threat, or when they have more people in there, it's a little bit more fast-paced because there is more people in there. That way there's more wrestling. I felt like it was here. You know, some good spots. It was fast-paced, and I enjoyed it. It took a little bit to get going there, but, you know, once it got going, it was good. And I enjoyed it. And I was very, very happy to see Kevin Owens win. That was good. You know, at least, you know, Kevin Owens is an Intercontinental Champion. You know, I would prefer to see him higher up in the card, but at least he has something. At least he won the belt. So, I'm going to give this match 3.75 out of 5 stars. Felt it was good wrestling, and also was very happy to see Kevin Owens win the belt there. Then we have Big E Langston defeating Mark Henry in just a what the fuck match. I mean, why are the New Day wrestling a fucking ultimate, you know, mega jobber and Mark Henry? I mean, the guy's washed up. He's about to retire. He moves about 2 miles an hour in the ring. So I mean, the New Day could, you know, face tougher opponents than this guy. And then at the end of the match, you got, what the fuck was that? I mean, Mark Henry just falls down and, you know, it's a fucking horrible botch. And then, you know, Big E covers him. It's like, what the fuck was that? You know, I thought Mark Henry had a heart attack or something. I mean, what the fuck? What a horrible, embarrassing ending that was. You know, yeah. It was far from a big ending. I can tell you that much. So I'm just going to give this match 0 out of 5 stars. I mean, that ending was just horrible. I mean, like, what the fuck? Then we have the Dudleys come out to cut a promo. Again, this is something I didn't really think was necessary. You know, they just talk about how they've turned heel and shit, and you know, I didn't feel like it was that great or anything like that. They didn't do anything, you know, that was out of the ordinary. They didn't, you know, talk to anybody else. You know, they didn't cut a promo with anybody else. And, yeah, just not a great promo or anything like that. So, yeah, just thought, though, you know, they could have done something else. You know, they could have done, you know, something to make it interesting. You know, cut a promo with somebody. But no. And then later on in the show, you know, right after they turn heel, they get fucking beat up. It's like, right after they turn heel, you know, they should be gaining momentum. They just had a major heel turn. Now they're getting beat up. Like, what the fuck? But I'll get to that later. Then we have Heyman and Reigns cutting a promo. I thought it was pretty decent here. You got Heyman talking about, you know, how Reigns has to make a choice between his friend or his family. I thought that was pretty good. And yeah, this is when the Dudleys come out to brawl, and you're like, well, at least, you know, the Dudleys will get one up on Reigns, but no, then Ambrose comes out and beats up the Dudleys, making the Dudleys look like jobbers. It's like, come on. Oh, and you know what the matches are going to be on SmackDown, right? I guarantee you, it'll be Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose defeating the Dudleys. So, I just didn't like the fact that, you know, the Dudleys, right after turning heel, are being made right back into jobbers again. Then we have Brie Bella and Charlotte cutting a promo, and I thought this was awful. I mean, I hate the fact that just because Daniel Bryan was in the spotlight, they're trying to have Brie Bella feed off of Bryan's coattails. Not a big fan of that at all. I think it's horrible. And you got her chanting yes. It's like, fucking get your own fucking chant. You know, she's just feeding off of her husband's coattails. It's sad that just because her husband was good, she gets pushed into the main event of the Divas division. Fuck that. That's not going to bring in any more ratings. The crowd's still going to be dead during the the main event of the Divas match. And just because the crowd's chanting yes does not mean they like Brie Bella. It means they like Daniel Bryan. So that pisses me off though, how the whole fucking feud is pretty much centered around Daniel Bryan. And of course the whole promo was about Daniel Bryan too. Oh, you should be at home with your husband. It's like, come on. Let's get away from Daniel Bryan. Let's push somebody who's actually good. Let's not just push somebody because they're related to Daniel Bryan. Then we get AJ Styles defeating Miz. I don't get why AJ Styles almost lost to the Miz. I mean, Miz hit his fucking finisher on him, and Miz is on Raw like 20% of the time. Yet he almost beat AJ Styles. I mean, I don't get that. You know, that's just dumb. You know, it looks like AJ Styles is going to wrestle at the pay-per-view. Well, if he's going to wrestle at the pay-per-view, give him a decisive win over the Miz. I mean, now he looks like a jobber. I mean, he almost lost to the Miz, for crying out loud. And the match wasn't that good. I didn't feel like there was any good spots here. I mean, there really wasn't. It was just the wrestlers going back and forth doing their typical moves and their moveset. Nothing good here, so I'll give that match 1 out of 5 stars. Then we get Heath Slater defeating Ryder, and these are the matches that don't need to be on Raw. This is the reason, another reason why Raw doesn't have to be fucking 3 hours long, because of matches like this. 2 jobbers facing one another in just a pointless match. So yeah, just a boring match, 0 out of 5 stars. Not going to spend too much time talking about this shit, but yeah, it was just a disaster of a match. Then we get the League of Nations defeating the Lucha Dragons and Neville, and I mean, there wasn't really anything that good in this match. I mean, you did have a good spot there where like Neville and the Luchas and did like backflips off the ropes, and then one of them did a suicide dive at the same time. That was a cool spot. But other than that, there wasn't really anything of worth, of significance in this match to look at. I mean, just look at the League of Nations. How sad is that? I mean, 2 months ago, you know, you had Sheamus as the world champ. Now they're jobbers. It's like you look at this company and you look at how fast they push people. You know, I mean, 1 month you got the person with the title. He's like the #1 guy in the company. You're like, he's in the main event. And then you turn around in a few months, he's a fucking jobber that nobody gives a shit about. I mean, look at it. Jack Swagger. Look at Jack Swagger. He was once world champion. Now he's not even on Raw. I mean, how sad is that? The Miz, main eventing WrestleMania, WWE champion, not even on Raw half the time. So you see, this company is just so fucked up in that way. They push people. Ryback's another one. They push people and then they just fucking fall off the face of the earth. So, just a mediocre match here. Nothing special or anything like that. And I mean, many of these matches, you just go through thinking, why does this match even matter? Because we all know that none of these guys are going to get pushed anytime soon. I mean, do you really think Kalisto's going to be world champion anytime soon? No, we all know the guys who are going to be world champion. Cena, Reigns, you know, Brock Lesnar. We know the guys who are in the main event. And it's not changing anytime soon, and we don't expect it to change. Because we know Vince McMahon's a total fucking retard. So we watch these matches not giving a shit because we don't expect these guys to get pushed. I mean, there's like a 2%, you know, like a 0.2% chance Kalisto will ever be in the main event and will ever be world champion. So why do we care about this match? Oh, and then we get the main event. The main event, no doubt the worst fucking stupidest part of the night. Who are the 2 men in the main event? Braun Strowman and the Big Show. The Big Show. Are you fucking kidding me? You got a fucking match to determine the #1 contender for the championship at Fastlane, and you don't put that in the main event? Oh, and why is Brock Lesnar not on Raw? Instead, he's on SmackDown? Are you kidding me? SmackDown? He's on SmackDown? No, come on. You don't put Brock Lesnar on the flagship show the week before the match. I mean, what the fuck is going on in this company? I mean, that's just common sense to put Brock Lesnar. And it's not like you don't have him. It's not like you don't. You know, it's like, I wouldn't be as mad if they weren't having him on SmackDown, but why the fuck have him on fucking SmackDown? A show that nobody fucking watches. But then you don't have him on Raw. What the hell is up with that? So anyway, this main event pissed me the fuck off. Why are these two retards who nobody likes in the main event? The Big Show should be retired. He's a 450-pound, boring piece of shit. And then you got Braun Strowman, a guy who people were like jerking off to a month ago, and I said this guy's nothing special. Now nobody likes him. And the match was just horrible. And then it was like a 2-minute match. And then you got, you know, the Wyatt family just attacking, you know, the Big Show. And then predictably you got Ryback and then Kane coming out. Oh my God, Kane came through the ring. He came from the depths of hell. How cool was that? It wasn't cool at all. It was stupid. Again, Kane's another guy who's hardly been on Raw, hardly been wrestling it, like for the past 2 years, actually. And they just decided to put him in the main event of Raw. See, this company makes no sense. You got guys who are working their, you know, working hard, you know, doing much more than Kane, like Neville, Kevin Owens. You know, good wrestlers. They don't get to even sniff the main event. They don't get close to the main event. Yet we put guys like Big Show, Kane, Ryback in the main event of Raw. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Horrible main event. No doubt a 0 out of 5-star main event. That was just a horrible way to end the show. And no build to Fastlane either. I mean, I hardly know. I couldn't name you one match besides the main event, you know, Lesnar, Ambrose, Reigns. I couldn't name you one other match. Oh yeah, you got Charlotte, Brie Bella, and then what other matches are there? I mean, matches that I don't give a shit about. I mean, this show is gonna suck. It really is. I mean, maybe the New Day will have a good, you know, segment there with Christian and Edge, but I mean, other than that, you know, I'm not looking forward to this show really. It's going to be a bunch of shitty fucking matches, just like this Raw was. A bunch of shitty fucking moments, except the one, you know, good match there between the Intercontinental Championship match, and you also had you had a decent Heyman promo, but other than that, the show pretty much sucked. So I'm going to give it 2.5 out of 10 stars. Definitely a lackluster Raw, and it finished off horribly with that god-awful, pointless